This is the 1947 Singer Model 6616, and it needs to be packed in order to be shipped. And I'm going to show how I do that today. This is going into this box, which is about 22 inches by 15 inches by 18 inches. And the first thing I like to do is put some reinforcing cardboard on the bottom so that the flaps, if the flaps aren't quite tight, there's still another piece of cardboard across the bottom. Next, I'm going to wrap the machine, including the motor on the back, in bubble wrap. And I'm going to make sure there's some cushioning underneath the machine before I put it in the box. I've removed the cords and the foot pedal. And I just want to point out before I start wrapping it, when you wrap bubble wrap around it, you want to wrap this area. I'm going to put fabric under the presser foot and lower the presser foot. You want bubble wrap around this area. You want bubble wrap around anything that sticks out a little bit. Normally I would take the spool pin off, and I probably will do that. This is still threaded. If I leave the spool pin on like that, I'll make sure I put bubble wrap over around the top of it. The hand wheel, even though they're metal and they're heavy duty, you want that wrapped in bubble wrap. A lot of times machines get dropped on the end, and that's when the inner shaft can get bent. So you want padding around the hand wheel, and you also want padding around the motor. So you really want to completely wrap anything that protrudes from the machine at all. This machine is being packed without a base bottom or a case bottom. And if I were including one of those, what I would be doing at this point, this would still be sitting in a base, and I would be wrapping bubble wrap around both the bed and the base. And what that ensures is that the machine doesn't shift in the base during shipping. But this one is going without a base. So once I finish wrapping it with bubble wrap, I'll be laying it down on its side in that box I showed you. And then I have a separate smaller box for the attachments and the foot pedal. And those will go here with something over the bed to protect the bed. And then around all of that, I'll be filling in with newspaper, or sometimes I use packing peanuts. I could also use more bubble wrap. Anything that's going to keep the machine from shifting around. You can see I have the machine in there now. I haven't added the foot pedal or the accessories yet. And this box is a little bit taller than what I need, but it's the best box I have that's in the size range. And one thing to note is that I put the machine in with the motor facing up, because should the machine get dropped in any way, you don't want the weight of the machine to land on the motor. So this is the motor right here, facing up. I'm going to put the attachments in here, and then it's a matter of filling in around the machine. I'm probably going to put some bubble wrap on the bottom mechanism of the machine as well. On the right hand side here, above the motor, really lower down in the picture, right here is the hand wheel. So I want extra padding on this side so that should the machine be dropped in any way, the hand wheel and the motor are not what take the impact. These are very heavy machines, but if I put enough newspaper or other packing material around this, it shouldn't shift at all in shipping. Now that may look a little messy, but what I've done is broken up pieces of styrofoam packaging, and I have, for example, a corner piece around the hand wheel. I have a corner piece around the other end of the machine. I have two straight pieces underneath the bed of the machine. So now as I fill in, if I had packing peanuts right now, I could fill this in with the peanuts and know that if the machine does get dropped in any way, the styrofoam will absorb the impact instead of the machine. So now I'm just going to continue filling in around the machine. I've put the foot pedal, the cords, and the attachments in this white box, and I'll close this up now and put this on top of the bed of the machine. Toward the top of the box, away from the machine really, I can use things. This is actually like a quilt batting material that I'm using as a filler, and I'm using airbags because the weight of the machine is really toward the bottom, and as long as the filler is firm enough so that the machine isn't going to move, then we should be fine. So this is now ready to be closed up and shipped.